Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the Raju's Hero book back exercise. I hope you remember the story. Now we shall move on to the book back exercise. Okay. First one, set going. Okay. Let us find the answer from the story. So from the story you have to find the answer. Okay. Read the following sentence. Write T for true and F for false. So you have to read these statements. So if the statement is true means you have to write T, and if the statement is false means you have to write F to that. Okay. Now we shall see the statement. Okay. First one, the newspaper described Sachin Tendulkar as the cricket wizard. Okay, so the statement is true only. All the newspaper will describe Sachin Tendulkar as a cricket wizard. I have already told you the story, no? So the newspaper described Sachin Tendulkar as a cricket wizard. So the statement is true. Okay, so I have to write T to that. Okay, it's a true statement. So what is the statement? The newspaper described Sachin Tendulkar as the cricket wizard. So it is a true. The next one, Australia and South Africa were playing the test match. Okay. The match was held between whom and whom? I have already told you the story. No. The match was between India and Australia only. Okay. So the statement is false. So here they are given South Africa. So South Africa is not in the match. Who are in the match? The match is between India and Australia. The match is between only for India and Australia. So here they are given that Australia and South Africa. Okay, so this statement is false. Okay, Australia and South Africa were playing the test match. So this statement is false. So what's the right answer? India and Australia only playing the test match. Okay, so the statement is false. I have to put F because the statement is false, so we are putting a F to that. Okay, the next one, Sachin scored 125 runs in the match against Australia. So Sachin scores how many runs? Sachin scores only 200 runs, but here they are giving 125 runs. Here they are given, so the statement is false. Okay, you have to write F to that. Okay, Sachin scores how many runs in the match? Sachin scores only 200 runs. Okay, but here they are given 125 runs they are given. So the statement is false. Okay, so we are putting F to that. Next one, Sachin gave Raju an autograph on his plaster. So why did Sachin give an autograph for Raju? Sachin gave on the plaster. So the statement is true. Okay, so I have to write T to that. Sachin gave Raju an autograph on his plaster. So on Raju's plasters only Sachin put an autograph. So the statement is true. Okay. Students, copy down these things in your notebook. Again, I am repeating. The newspaper described Sachin Tendulkar as a cricket wizard. So the statement is true only. So you are putting T to that. The next one, Australia and South Africa were playing the test match. Okay, so who are playing the test match? Only India and Australia only playing. But here they are given Australia and South Africa. So this statement is false. Okay, F. Sachin scores 125 runs in the match against Australia. So the statement is false because Sachin scores only 200 runs only. But here they are given 125 runs. So this statement is false. So we are putting F to that. Next one, Sachin gave Raju an autograph on his plaster. So the statement is true. So for only we are putting T to that. Okay. Next we can see on to the listening junction. Okay, students, now we are going to see about listening junction. Okay, in listening junction, we are going to see about the famous author, that is Enid Blyton. About Enid Blyton only we are going to see that. Okay, I will read out the passage. You have to listen carefully to that. So, in the passage only, I am asking these statements. So, if the statement is true means you have to write T, and if the statement is false means you have to write F to that. Okay. So I'm going to read that passage. So listen carefully. So in the passage only these statements are given. So I have to write the answer. So please listen carefully, students. Listening junction. Enid Blyton. Okay, about Enid Blyton I'm going to read to that. Okay, so side by side you have to see this. So if the statement is true means you have to write T, and if the statement is false means you have to write F to that. The question is, listen to your teacher, read out a passage on Enid Blyton and then read the following statements. Okay, these are the 6 statements. Okay, write T for true and F for false statement. Have to write, if the statement is true means have to write T, and if the statement is false means have to write F to that. Okay, so while reading the passage, listen carefully. Okay. Enid Blyton. Enid Blyton was a children's writer. Her books have been among the world's bestseller since 1930. More than 600 million copies of her books sold worldwide. Her books have also been translated into almost 90 languages. Blyton wrote on a wide variety of topics, but she is most famous for her books on mystery and fantasy. Her books are still widely read because of the simple writing style and lively characters. Enid Blyton was born on 11th August 1897 in London. She was the eldest among 3 children. A few months later, after her birth, Enid almost died from whooping cough but was nursed back to health by her father. She was not considered a very bright student at school. However, she excelled at writing. Her mother did not like her writing stories and poems, but her aunt encouraged and motivated her. Blyton's stories were eagerly welcomed by publishers, even in her early writing career. She published many books in the decades that followed. She is best known for her many series of adventurous stories and novels featuring young children as main characters, especially The Famous Five, The Secret Seven, Noddy, and The Naughtiest Girl. Okay, so I am reading the passage. Have you all understand? Again, I am reading the passage. So listen carefully and you have to fill these answers. Okay. Enid Blyton was a children's writer. Her books have been among the world's bestsellers since 1930. More than 600 million copies of her books sold worldwide. Her books have been also translated into almost 70 languages. Blyton wrote on wide variety of topics, but she is most famous for her books on mystery and fantasy. Her books are still widely read because of the simple style writing and lively characters. Enid Blyton was born on 11th August 1897 in London. She was the eldest among 3 children. A few months after her birth, Enid almost died from whooping cough but was nursed back to health by her father. She was not considered a very bright student at school. However, she excelled at writing. Her mother did not like her writing stories and poems, but her aunt encouraged and motivated her. Blyton's stories were eagerly welcomed by publishers, even in her early writing career. She published many books in the decades that followed. She is the best known for her many series of adventure stories and novels featuring young children as a main characters, especially The Famous Five, The Secret Seven, Noddy and the Naughtiest Girl. Okay, students, have you all understand the passage? So this passage it is about Enid Blyton. So she is a famous author. So mostly she wrote for the children, for the kids only. She will be writing. Okay. Now we can see the statement. So if the statement is true means I have to write T, and if the statement is false means I have to write F to it. Okay. These are the statement. Okay, come on. Let us see the answer. I hope you have written these answer. Now we shall check out the answer. Okay. Enid Blyton wrote mostly for adults. So the statement is true or false? Enid Blyton wrote mostly for the children only. She's a children writer only. For the kids only, for the children only, she will be writing. But here in the statement, they are given. She wrote mostly for the adults. Adults means the elder people. Okay. So for the children only, she has written many stories. No. So this statement is false. Okay. Yeah. So have you all written F to this statement? So the statement is false. Okay. Second question, more than 600 million copies of any Bytens books sold. So the statement is true or false? What you have written? I hope you have written T for that because the statement is true. So more than 600 million copies of any Bytens books only sold. Okay, so the statement is true. Have to write T to that. Next one, Enid Blyton is famous for his simple style of writing. So what you have written, T or F? So the statement is true only. So Enid Blyton, she is only famous for simple style of writing. So she will be write in a simple language. So it will be easily read by the for the children only. She is writing no. So for the children, if the language is simple only, they will read. So she is famous for a simple style of writing. So the statement is true. So it's a T. The next one, Enid Blyton had two siblings. So the statement is true only. So she is eldest among the three siblings. So totally there are the three children in that Enid Blyton. So she is a first child. So after that, how many are there? Two are there. Okay. So the statement is true only. Enid Blyton had two siblings. Siblings means brother or sister. Younger brother or younger sister is known as a sibling. So she is one of the eldest among the three siblings. So she is the eldest among the three siblings. So after that, how many children are there? After that, two children are there. So this statement is true only. Enid Blyton had two siblings. So the statement is true only. Okay. So I have to write T to that. The next one, Enid Blyton was very good at studies. So she is not good at studies. Enid Blyton, she is not good at studies. What she is good at? She is good at writing only. Okay, she will be writing many stories, but she lag in her studies. Okay, so the statement is false. Enid Blyton was very good at studies. No, Enid Blyton, she was not good at studying. Instead of that, what she is famous for? She is famous for writing stories only. Okay, this statement is false. So she is not good at studies. So I have to write F to that. The next one, Enid Blyton stories were rejected by many publishers. So what you have written? So Enid Blyton stories were rejected by many publishers. No, the statement is false. So Enid Blyton stories are welcomed by the publisher. They are welcoming her stories only, but here they are given a rejected. So rejected is wrong. Instead of that, they are welcoming the stories only. Okay, so all the publishers are welcoming the Enid Blyton stories only. Okay, but here they are given Enid Blyton stories were rejected by many publishers. So this statement is wrong. So I have to put F to that. Okay. Students, have you all write down these answers? Have to write down these answers in your notebook. Again, I am repeating. Enid Blyton wrote mostly for adults. No, the statement is false. Okay. More than 600 million copies of Enid Blyton's book sold. So the statement is true only. Okay. Enid Blyton is famous for her simple style of writing. So the statement is true only. Okay. The next one, Enid Blyton had two siblings. So the statement is true. Okay. Enid Blyton was very good at studies. No, she is very poor in studies only. But instead of that, she is famous in writing the stories. So she is not good at studies. So the statement is false. The next one, Enid Blyton's stories were rejected by many publishers. So not the statement is false. Instead of that, many publishers are welcoming the Enid Blyton stories only. So the statement is false. Okay. I hope you understand the listening junction. Now we can move on to the speaking junction. Okay, students, now we are going to see about a speaking junction. In speaking junction, we are going to see about modal verbs. Okay. Okay. Have you all known this topic modal verbs? In your lower classes, you have been studying, right? So in this class also, we are going to study about a modal verbs. Okay. What do you mean by modal verbs? Modal verbs are the helping verbs. They are used to express ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. Okay. What do you mean by modal verbs? First point, modal verbs are helping verbs. Okay. Okay, what do you mean by modal verbs? Modal verbs are helping verbs. They are used to express. So express means it denotes, okay? Modal verbs are helping verbs. They are used to express. What are they used to express? They are used to express ability, possibility, possibility, permission, or obligation, okay? So what is a modal verb? Modal verb are helping verbs. They are used to express ability. Okay, they are used to express ability, possibility, permission or obligation. So these statements they are used to express. Okay, modal verbs, helping verbs. They are used to express was ability, possibility, permission or obligation. Okay, what do you mean by ability? Ability means how you can do. What are the talents you have? How can you do? That's your ability. Okay, what are the talents you can do? So how many times you can do? So that is your ability. Ability means in Tamil we will say tiramai. Okay. Then possibility. Possibility in Tamil we will say satyam. So it may happen or may not be happen. We will say no. It may rain or may not be rain. Like that we will say no. It may happen or the rain will come or they will not come. We don't know that. Okay. But that is a possibility. So for the possibility we will say that is a possibility. Possibility means satyam. Okay. It may come or may not come. Okay. The next one, permission. So all will be knowing a permission. In the leave letter, you will be writing. Then while entering to the class, you will ask what? May I come in? Okay. So this comes under a permission. Okay. Obligation means the state is being forced to do something. ஏதாவது ஒண்ணு நம்ம கட்டாயப்படுத்தி பண்ண வைப்போம்ல அதான் வந்து என்னது obligations. So it is because of a law or because of a duty. So you are forced to do that. So the state of being forced to do that because it is a duty or because it is a law. Okay, that is known as obligation. Okay, we will say no, you must stop when the traffic light turns red. So it is a rule. When the traffic light it turns red, what you have to do? You have to stop in that place. You have to stop the vehicle in your place. So it is a rule and it is a law and order. So for the duty, law and order, you are forced to do something. No, that is known as obligation. Obligation means you are forcing someone to do something because it is a law or duty. So for example, you must stop when the traffic light turns red. So when the traffic lights it turns red, you have to stop the vehicle in your place. So that is a rule. So that comes under obligation. Okay. So again I'm repeating, modal verbs are helping verbs. They are used to express. What are they used to express? First one, ability. So ability means what are your talents and how much you can do. That is your ability. The next one, possibility. Okay, possibility means it may happen or may not be happen. Okay, the next one, permission. You all will be knowing the permission or obligation. Obligation means what? Forcing something to do. Okay, we are the state of being forced to do something. is known as the obligation. Okay. In English, what are the modal verbs? Can you say? What are the modal verbs? Will, would, can, could, may, might, used to, dare, need, must not, may not. Okay, these are the modal verbs in English. What are they? Will, would, can, could, may, might, used to, dare, need, must not, need. So these are the modal verbs. Okay, these are the these are the modal verbs in English. Okay, what are they? Will, would, can, could, may, might, used to, dare, need, need not, need not. So these are the modal verbs. So in our class, we are going to see only 4 modal verbs. That is can, could, will, can, could, will, would. Okay. So in our class, we are going to concentrate on only these modal verbs. Okay, what are the modal verbs? Can, could, will, would. So these 4 modal verbs only. Today we are going to see that. Okay. So what do you for what purpose we will use these modal verbs? Can, could, will, would. So these set of modal verbs we will be using for asking the request. Okay, for asking request. So for asking request only, you will be using these modal verbs. What are the modal verbs? Can, could, will, would. So these 4 modal verbs only you will be asking. For asking a request, you will be using these 4 modal verbs only. Okay, what do you mean by a request? Request means asking somebody to do something. Okay, request means what? Asking somebody to do something. Okay. So what do you mean by request? Request means asking somebody to do something. Okay, that is known as a request. So if you want something, you will be asked your parents. How you will be asking? You will be asking in a request. Like requestly, you will be asking. If you ask in request only, you will be getting that. Okay. So request means asking somebody to do something. It's known as a request. Okay. So can, could, will, would. So these are the set of the 4 modal words that will be asked. They will be using for asking a request. For the request, you will be using these modal verbs: can, could, will, would. So for the request, you will be using these modal verbs. Okay, what do you mean by request? Request means asking somebody to do something. That is known as a request. Okay. So first what we have seen, first we have seen the definition of modal verbs. Okay, modal verbs are helping verbs. They are used to express ability, possibility, permission or obligation. So this is the definition of modal verbs. Okay, what are the modal verbs in English? They are will, would, can, could, may, might, used to, dare, need, must not, need not. These are some of the modal verbs in English. Okay. So in this class, we are going to concentrate on only 4 modal verbs. What are they? Can, could, will, would. So these are some of the modal verbs. They will be using for asking a request. For the request, you will be using these modal verbs. Okay. What do you mean by request? Request means asking somebody to do something is known as a request. Okay. Now we can see there are while asking a request, you will be asking in a 3 different manner. Now we are going to see that. Okay, students. Now we are going to see about that in speaking junction, I have already told no. For asking request, you will be asking in a three manner. In speaking junction, we are seeing about modal verbs. So in the modal verbs, we are going to see about only four modal verbs. That is can, could, will, would. These four modal verbs only we are going to see. Okay, will, could, can, could. So these four modal verbs only we are going to see. What I have told, they are used for asking a request. For the request only you will be asking. For the request you will be asking these modal verbs. Okay. So now we are going to see about this one in detail. That is will, would, can, could. This we are going to see in detail. Okay. While you are asking request, how you will be asking, how you will ask the request, you will be asking in a extremely polite manner. So while you are asking request, you will be asking in a three manner. So they are extremely polite. You will be asking very politely and you will be asking polite in a formal manner. So in the formal manner, you will be asking a polite. Formal means in the school, college, office. We will asking only in a formal manner only. Okay. Then we will asking request in a polite in a friendly manner. So friendly manner you will be asking a politeness. Okay. For asking request, there are three categories. What are they? Extremely polite in a formal manner, polite in a friendly manner. Extremely polite means very politely. Okay, பணிவா வந்து கேட்கிறது. Polite in a formal manner. Formal manner means to the school, office, college. You will be asking in a formal manner to the principal, to the HM. You will be asking in a formal manner. Okay. Then you are asking polite in a friendly manner. Friendly manner means to your friends, to your parents. You will be asking in a friendly manner only. No. So polite in a friendly manner. Okay. Let us see what are the modal verbs can be suitable for this. Okay. For extremely polite, we will be using the modal verbs would and would. Could and would are the modal verbs. They are used for asking extremely polite. So, ரொம்ப பணிவா இருக்கிறதுக்கு we will be using what modal verbs? We will be using could and would. So, these two modal verbs will be using for asking extremely polite manner. Okay. The next, polite in a formal manner. The formal manner, so what is the modal verb? We will be using only can. So polite in a formal manner, in this we will be using can. Okay. Then polite in a friendly manner. For the friendly manner, if you are asking a polite manner, polite way means we will be using the modal verbs will. Okay. Students, copy down these things in your notebook. Okay. For the extremely polite, you will be using the modal verb could and would. These two modal verbs you will be using for asking extremely polite. Okay. Then for polite in a formal manner, if you are asking a polite in a formal manner, we will be using the modal verbs can. Okay. Then polite in a friendly manner. If you are asking a politeness to a friendly manner means we'll be using only will. Okay. For your better understanding, I have done this. Copy down these things in your notebook. Okay. Now we can see the example sentences for would, could, would, can, and will. For this, we can see the example sentence. Okay. First one, what I have written extremely polite. What extremely polite means ரொம்ப பணிவா வந்து கேட்கிறது request. Okay. What are the two modal verbs? They are could and would. These two modal verbs only. We can see out the example. For extremely polite, could you pass the book please? So, would you pass the book please? Here they are asking extremely polite manner. Okay. Could. Could you pass the book, please? Next one. Would you lend me your car for a day? So they are asking in an extremely polite manner. Okay. Here, what is the modal verb? Would. Could you lend me your car for a day? The next one. Would. Okay. Would you help me carry these bags? Would you help me carry these bags? So here they are asking in an extremely polite manner. Okay. Here what is the modal verb? Would. Would you help me carry these bags? So it comes under extremely polite. The next one. Would you please open the window for me? Okay, would you please open the window for me? So here would is the model verb. So these model verbs they are asking extremely polite. Okay, read out the sentence and see to that. Okay. The next one, polite in a formal manner. For what is a model verb we can use? For that we can use can. Okay. Now we can see the sentences. Can you lend me your book? So here they are asking a politeness in a formal manner. Okay. In a formal manner they are asking, can you lend me your book? Okay. The next one here can is the modal verb. Then can you give me a hand? So just a formal, just formula they are asking can you give me a hand? Okay. This come under a polite in a formal manner. Okay. The next one polite in a friendly manner. What is the modal verbs? That is a will. Okay. So in a friendly manner, how will we asking our politeness? That is, will you carry this for me? So you are asking in a friendly manner, will you carry this for me? Okay, so will is the modal verb. And next, will you give me your autograph? So in a friendly manner, they are asking what? Will you give me your autograph? So will is the modal verb. Okay, students, read out these sentences and see. So you have to keep it in mind. For the extremely polite, we will be using the modal verb could and would. And for the polite in a formal manner, you will be using the modal verb can. And a polite in a friendly manner, you will be using the modal verb will. So with this, I have done out the example. You have to read these example and see to that. Okay. Could you pass the book, please, by reading in intonation? Okay. The sound may be a different to that. Okay. Would you pass the book, please? Could you lend me your car for a day? Would you help me carry these back? So you have to ask in an extremely polite manner. Okay. Would you please open the window for me? Then polite in a formal manner. In a formal, how you are going to ask. Okay. Can you lend me your book? Can you give me a hand? Then a polite in a friendly manner. In a friendly manner, how you will be asking, will you carry this for me? Will you give me your autograph? So by reading this, you have to, by reading these words, you have to say, okay. So what are the modal verbs? Could, will. So you have to read these statements and you have to see to that. Okay. In today's class, what we have seen about that set going, that we have seen the true or false. Next, we have move on to the listening junction. In a listening junction, what we have seen a famous author, that is Enid Blyton. I have read out the a passage. So from the passage, I have given the set of statements. So in the statements, you have to write a true or false. We can see we also see that. And now we have seen about a speaking junction. In speaking junction, what we have seen about a modal verbs. Okay, in modal verbs, there are many modal verbs. So in our class, we have seen only four modal verbs. What are they? Will, would, can, could. Okay, these four modal verbs only we have seen. They are used for asking a request. For asking request, you will be asking in three different manner. Extremely polite, polite in a formal manner, polite in a friendly manner. Okay. So for extremely polite, you will be using could and would, and polite in a formal manner, you will be using can, and polite in a friendly manner, you will be using a will. So these are the things we have seen, that is true or false, listening junction and speaking junction. Okay. Students, copy down these things in your notebook. I hope you understand the book back exercise. We shall continue the next of the exercise in the next class. Thank you.